To our regular city council meeting this Tuesday, August 6th, 2024.
Hang on just 1 second. It says that it's setting up my meeting. Hang on. Sorry. It's buffering. At least I think it's buffering.
If you search Washington, Terrace City on YouTube.com is the first result.
The what?
You're the first result.
Oh, geez. That was when I was a baby.
Look at this guy.
Okay, you're live. For sure.
Okay, we're live for sure. Welcome all to our regular city council meeting this Tuesday, August 6th. We're beginning a new era here in Washington Terrace. Our council meetings are broadcast live via YouTube. So thank you, YouTube, for making this possible. We appreciate that. Council members, because of that, we encourage you to speak into your microphones clearly so that everybody at home can hear us. Those in the audience, you pick up your agenda on there, and there is an intellectual property permission notice. I'd like you all to read that, and if you don't want to abide by that, I guess you may have to leave, but because your face is going to be on the YouTube along with ours on split screen. So we appreciate Tom and his group for making this happen, and we're pretty excited about it. So nothing will change on this side of the table here. We'll just continue to do the business as normal, and hopefully we'll have thousands of individuals watching every other Tuesday.
And we also have an X-Men with us. It's invisible.
Yes, and we have our invisible Cheryl, who is ill today, but she is with us on phone.
Actually, right now, she's just listening live.
She's listening live. Thank you,
And-
Cheryl.
And if she has a question or whatever, she can toss over the text and
Okay,
we'll be able
great. Thank
to
you.
respond.
So I hope this is working okay this evening. We'll find out, but we will, it's our first time, but I think we'll be fine. So let's get started. We've got a lot of work to do tonight. Item number 1 on tonight's agenda was a work session. We talked about residential infill ordinance amendments. Took the whole time doing that. Item number 2 tonight is our roll call. Amy, roll call, please. Here.
Here.
Here,
Here.
Here.
Okay, everyone is present, kind of. See, we have her right there. Okay, item number 3 is our Pledge of Allegiance. If you'll all rise and repeat the pledge with me, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all for that Pledge of Allegiance. Let's move right along again. Welcome everybody who's with us tonight. Let's move on to item number 5, consent items, approval of tonight's agenda. Staff, any changes, corrections? I know we have one. We're going to take out item 7.3. We need a little bit more. We just have some clerical changes to make and sentences to change around. So we'll bring that back so you can see that in hard copy and the final copy. So we'll bring that back in 2 weeks. Other than that, we're good, right, staff?
Yes.
Okay, so that in front of you minus item 7.3. And then item number 5.2, approval of July 16, 2024 council meeting minutes. Any corrections to those minutes? City council? Seeing none. Anyone opposed to approving those 2 items? Seeing none, we'll approve those by general consent. Thank you very much. Let's move to item number 6, citizen comments. Please, if you have any citizen comments, come to the podium. Take no more than 3 minutes. Just state your name if you would, please.
Evening, friends. Amy Miller from the Methodist Church. Have our new August newsletter out. I have a couple copies over on the table there. Just wanted to point out a couple of things. Just finished our school supply campaign. I'm a little exhausted from it, but we served about 40 teachers, 1,200 pencil boxes stuffed with stuff. Still have a few from Roosevelt that need to come and pick their boxes up. They're a little scattered this year, but we'll get that taken care of.
Yeah.
A couple of community things coming up. Just wanted to mention this coming Sunday, and it'll be posted on Facebook at some point. We're doing a community-wide blessing of the backpacks for all the kids going back to school, or those who have backpacks, or college kids who have briefcases. Everyone's welcome for that. We'll be doing that after the services, I believe. And then we're also having a community end of summer barbecue that'll take place on the last Sunday of the month on the 25th. I wanted to invite everybody here. They're welcome to come. On the calendar in here, it says 10 o'clock, but they just changed it to 11 o'clock. So hope you can make it. I'll be there. Hope to see you. And that's what we have going on, but more information in the newsletter.
Okay, thank you, Amy.
Thank you.
As always, thank you for participating in our city. Appreciate that. Anybody else like to come forward?
Paul Klima, live on the north side. A worker told me 300 West is gonna be done this Saturday. And I think if it ain't done this Saturday, you guys can't tell the truth.
Thank you, Mr. Klima. Anybody else?
Good evening. My name is Parker Meekum. I'm currently working on a project within the city here. Looking forward to continuing to collaborate with the city in whatever way that the city deems appropriate. If there is I plan on making a few more comments in the future. I'm currently waiting on someone. They may, did somebody just walk in? Yep. But either way, I just wanted to say thank you to everyone here on the city council and city staff for taking the time to consider the project and allow a forum to collaborate. And that's what I have at this time. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Meekum. Anybody else? No. So public comment is public comment. This is a city council meeting. Huh? Yeah, I can give her 3 minutes to talk. Sure. I'll give you 1 minute. Yeah, because we're done. I think everybody's talked. Everybody's talked, so. Great, thank you. You took 1 minute, appreciate that. Yeah, we're ready to move on with the meeting. So, first name, or at least your name, please.
Sorry, my name's Amy Walker and I'm counsel for Mr. Meekum. Here to speak about the agenda item regarding the ordinance change for the overlay district. Just some specific concerns. It seems like after Parker was able to do work with his surveyor and do some research as to the properties it affected, it does seem that some of the restrictions are tailored toward targeting his property. It seems like this doesn't seem to be a widely applicable change, and it doesn't it's unclear what the 10-year restriction is, why that's in place, why this was the reasonable basis for that particular restriction, as well as some others. So we came specifically to speak about that as his property is specifically affected. I believe public comment is supposed to be open for each agenda item. So but I will defer to your procedures, but that was what I came here to discuss.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. And just for your information, Parker, I don't know if you were in here, but we have taken item 7.3, that item off the agenda tonight because we had an entire work session on that and the council was not ready to vote on that tonight. There were some changes, additions, clarifications the council wanted to see before we approved it at tonight's meeting. So that will hopefully be brought back in 2 weeks. That's the plan for our next council meeting. Okay?
Yeah, so I guess the request that I have to the city as a member of the city and I was informed that the city council has been asked not to communicate with me because I have an attorney, which disallows the opportunity for any collaboration, especially when there's improvement.
Yeah, we made that clear. Tom, will you make that clear? That we announced in work session?
Yes,
What he's just talking
if
about.
there's pending lawsuit, the
If-
council, and we clarified that during the meeting. And so where there's no threat of lawsuit, then we let council know that communicating with you is fine. If there is a threat, then obviously that communication would stop, as we did during the discussions when we were notified that we would only be communicating with you and with Bill. And Bill and you, Amy, were the communication link because of that communication that we had from Parker, that we would need to then be communicating with council. And that's what we did. Yeah, so I realize that we're kind of going off
Yeah,
the
we
rail
are,
here for a minute.
But yeah, permission was given
But-
for council to speak because Bill said there was just discussion between the two and there was no threatened litigation.
Yep.
So we're good to go. Okay?
So just so that I'm aware, it's okay for me to then reach out to each city council member individually and have one-on-one discussions with them in a very healthy and collaborative way.
Yes. That's what I got from our council, from Bill.
Yeah.
Was that what you got, Tom?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was here tonight. Yeah, we didn't make it clear. Those individual communications, I'm, just letting mayor and council know that it'd be advised not to make promises in those communications, so that it can go through a legislative process with an appropriate vote and moving forward. So any commitments by an individual council member should not be considered as a commitment by the city.
But we didn't reach any final, like, we didn't vote on anything and things weren't like clear. We just wanted to make the whole ordinance clear. That's why we're meeting in 2 weeks again. In the meantime, if you have any questions, concerns, anything, you're more than welcome to communicate with any of us. So I guess
That's fine.
That's what we got from council tonight, right? Okay, thank you. Okay, let's move on. Thank you for all your public comments. Appreciate that. Move on to item 7.1, motion approval of heavy equipment purchases. I imagine Jake's here asking for some new equipment. Much needed.
Much needed. Good evening, Mayor and Council. The heavy equipment plan, a little bit of background on that. A few years ago in 2021, we developed a plan, kind of a phase 1, and we'll move into phase 2, and that's where we're at now. Phase 1 was to purchase 2 bobtail trucks, a back truck, and 1 additional 550 dump truck. That was phase 1. Phase 2 is to replace the case backhoe, the Timco street sweeper, and the 2015 Dodge 550 dump truck. A little bit of background about each one, what the backhoes are used for. I mean, I'm sure you've seen that all out on the streets and on the job sites, especially with water leaks, road repairs, stormwater system. It's a very essential piece of equipment in our fleet. We rely on that very heavily every day. The street sweeper we use about 3 times a year. We have that scheduled to sweep 3 times a year, and then any emergency sweeping, any other as needed, projects, water leaks, road projects, we've got that on hand to use when we need to. And then the 2015 Dodge, we actually use that as one of our fleet vehicles. The guy is assigned to that. He drives that every day. With the dump bed, we can haul dirt, asphalt, concrete. It's equipped with a snowplow. It's one of the 5 pieces of equipment in our snowplow fleet. So the case backhoe, it's about 14 years old. It's got about 1,800 hours on it. It's actually held its value very well. It's worth about 40,000, what I've been quoted, on a trade for that from Century Equipment. The Timco sweeper, it's a 2001, excuse me, 2001. The city purchased that in 2010 as a used piece of equipment. It's got about 23 years of life in it, and it's on its last legs. It's a maintenance issue. There's always something breaking down on it. It doesn't work real efficient. It's been used. And then one of the big things with that is the truck, the cab and chassis part of the truck is from Freightliner, and the parts are obsolete. So the door falls off and we don't have a door. We can't get a replacement. We find one at a junkyard or something.
It'll go very fast.
Yeah, who knew? No. The motor, yeah, we can get parts for the motor for it, but as far as the cab goes, they don't even make that model of truck anymore. The 2000 Dodge, or the 2015 Dodge truck. Like I said, it's been well maintained. It's got about 27,000 miles on it. It does not have a spreader on it, so we don't equip it with that. And so we're used for one of our dump trucks in the wintertime for water leaks or anything else that we need to haul around. The replacement cost, we feel that right now, about this 10-year mark in that life of that truck, it still has quite a bit of value in it. And obviously that's going to decrease, but the cost of the new one's going to increase each year. So this is kind of a happy medium as I watch those trucks being bought and sold over the last few years. I think this would be a good time to get for our ROI on that piece of equipment. The financial impact, I broke that down a little bit to what we purchased each piece of equipment for, a trade value that I've been quoted on for each one, the replacement cost, and then the figure for our net cost, what we're actually going to have to pay for that. Any questions on anything so far on the financial impact or any piece of equipment?
Yeah, so the Timco street sweeper, so the net cost is about 356,000, and we use it like 3 times a year. I actually did get a message about that. Someone requested that in case we do buy a new one, can we notify the citizens first so they move their car off the street? Because in his experience, there were cars parked both sides of the street, and the sweeper just went through the middle. So it's like not really doing its job properly. So maybe notify the citizens first that, hey, we're going to be cleaning. And secondly, is there any way we can rent one? We're using it 3 times a year and we're about to spend.
We can rent one. There's actually a third party that, there's other contractors out there that offer this service.
Right.
I went through and did an analysis on that, what it would cost to rent one, what it would cost to hire somebody else versus what it would cost us to own that.
Right.
And it's really about sixes. It comes down, it costs us about the same amount to own one and maintain it versus pay somebody else to come in and do it. The con to that is we wouldn't have it for emergency purposes. We couldn't do it if we did it a fourth time a year, or especially in the fall, we'd sweep more regularly, you know, almost for a month straight, picking leaves up. We wouldn't have that opportunity to do that. And then at the end of the day, we wouldn't have that value of that piece of equipment.
Right,
So that's
So-
kind of the caveat to
Sorry.
that part of
right.
it.
So for, like, it said we cleaned it like 3 times. So is that like an average?
That's an
Cle-
average.
Average a year, we use it 3 times.
Springtime, middle of summer, and then in the fall.
Okay, so, obviously you have done more research. So literally for three times to sweep the city, it would cost us over $350,000
So as we
by a
spread
third
that
party.
out over a 20-year span,
Okay,
and then that's what we would be paying. To pay somebody else to come in and
Right.
do it. And we got manpower, we've got fuel, we've got maintenance.
and we're still coming net positive if we buy one?
If we buy one at the end of the day in 20 years, I don't see a reason why we wouldn't keep it for 20 years or 20+ years. We wouldn't have that $50,000 in the bank, the value of that asset at the end of the day, or whatever it is.
Interesting.
So,
Can I just, you say you only use it 3 times a year, but you have 30 miles of road.
yeah.
So how long does it take you to do one sweep of the city?
One sweep.
I noticed we put 41,000 miles on that at what, 5 miles an hour?
Yeah,
That's a long time on the road.
you're right.
I've never
Yeah,
seen a
that's 30
street, I've never
miles,
seen a
but
street
times
sweep.
that by 2,
Yeah,
you know, it takes us about 2 weeks to
okay,
get through everything. If we can stay on top of it.
okay.
Other things come up and, we might miss a day or 2 a week or something, or only half a day, but
So it's going, so it could possibly go at least 8 weeks, probably 8 weeks a year. We do a fourth one, maybe
Mhm.
more depending on the fall leaf cleanup.
mhm.
Do we use it after the parade?
Yeah, we use
Pick
it
up
for the parade.
candy
We haven't
and
used
stuff?
it after. But anything like that would be extra, would
Right,
be on top of,
Right, okay. So
my
road
analysis with
project,
contracting it out.
Project or a repair on the
Yep.
road on a repair
If
on a.
other construction projects, it comes in, it's got a back tube on it, so we can use it to hydro excavate if we need to, clean storm drain boxes out. Anything like that that wasn't factored into my analysis, because they come out basically 6s at that point.
Well, I like your, the availability. It's there,
Mhm.
there when we need it. We
Right.
called and said, hey, can you get this? They may not even be able to work us in.
Yeah,
That's the thing. And we used to have a heck of a deal. Remember back in the day where you only were required to do it 2 times a year,
yeah,
right? And so we hired Ogden to do ours. Cause they had time down, so, and it was pretty cheap. So Ogden City would do ours. And then when they went to 3 times a year, Ogden City said, we can't do
they
it.
didn't want to do
Takes
it.
us the whole year to do our city.
Yeah,
So then all cities had to scramble.
yeah.
And then you had people coming up, oh yeah, we can do it for you for a minimum charge, yeah, of, whatever, it's a lot.
It's the manpower, if we looked at that option, to contract out to another city, it's the manpower that we couldn't afford. We couldn't afford to lose an employee for a week or 2 to go sweep somebody else's city.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, no, we wouldn't rent it out.
Yeah,
Have somebody come in and do our, I don't know. No, I think it's worth the money.
does that answer your
Yes,
question?
Thank
Okay.
you, and thank you for doing the research.
Yep.
So we're being presented with the backhoe, an option for like a 4-year-old one, used one or brand new. Is that the
No,
pricing that you're breaking down for us, or is this
no, that was the price.
to show
for-
the
yeah, how-
way how it has
Yep,
increased over time?
Yep.
Okay,
yeah, each one is brand new.
okay.
Is a new piece of equipment. Any questions on the financial impact or anything?
My question is on the truck with the snowplow dump bed. Would that new one have a spreader on it, so it would help out with the snow removal?
So but in 2021, when we purchased that truck, we put a spreader on it. This one won't. the way we team up in our snowplow routes, it really doesn't seem that a need. More of a need to have that open dump bed in the wintertime to haul for
Will.
water leaks or whatever we need to. Because both bobtail trucks and the other 550 all have spreaders on them. So we really, we can't use those for water leaks. We'll be down to just this truck and then the big dump truck.
So you're saying when there's a water leak, you use that for backfill,
Yep.
for grubbing out
Yep.
contaminated soil, meaning to what, to
Yeah, we haul
messed up?
asphalt off, all concrete, and then bring in new material. So,
Without having to bring out the big.
yeah.
Okay. I assume you contacted Cherie about this. I'm sure Cherie has been working on this for probably several years.
Yeah,
With
we
you,
have. We
so-
started this plan budgetarily 4 or 5 years ago.
Right.
So, yeah, the numbers are in there, what we have budgeted for each one. And we're within budget, within the budgeted amount. The Dodge truck or the 550 truck, I've got confirmed numbers from one vendor. I'm seeking some other numbers from another vendor, try to bundle everything together. So I haven't got a set vendor yet. Just trying to make sure we get what we want, what we need that way and for the best value.
Okay,
And they're within
thank you, Jake.
our budget plan for this year.
Mhm.
I'm sorry, I can't remember the details of all.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
All right, Jake, thank you. You do a good
Yeah.
job. You do your
Yeah.
homework, you do your research. And I know with Cherie, you guys get together and make sure this can happen and we
Yeah.
can afford it. So thank you very
Yeah.
much. Any other questions?
Yeah, just one note, like, I don't know if it's true, cause I haven't seen the sweepers, probably because I'm comparatively new in the city, but if we do it, and if it is true that we had cars on both sides of the streets, let's make sure we're notifying if possible, cause I understand it goes slow, so if we plan that way, like, okay,
Yeah.
this day, we're gonna do this corner, at least people would move their car and actually the sweeper would be doing its
So
job.
this spring, we tried to do that in areas. Obviously our schedule gets kind of wonky a little bit. Try to get it posted on Facebook now that we're utilizing that platform a lot more. Try to get our newsletter that we're gonna be out that month, that couple of weeks or week in this area. And then if there's something, we need to go back, we miss a whole street because there's too many cars, we'll try to keep an eye on that and then go back and sweep as we can. But I don't know how else to,
I mean, that's the best.
it's
we
kind of a
can do.
one-time
Right.
thing, take 30 seconds to get in front of somebody's house and, and then we're moving on.
Do you do it on Wednesdays when our garbage cans are out?
And we don't
Okay,
sweep.
that was another, like, that would be very useless.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay,
I think
thank
the
you.
only thing they do is do like a Facebook thing.
Right, I think that's,
You can't do door hangers, but like you say, of course, you're gonna plan it for next Tuesday and then next Monday night, you got a water line break
Yeah,
and,
we've got something
whole
else comes
crew's,
up, so.
on a water line break, so. If you can give an
That's-
area,
Yeah,
mhm.
an area near the fire station during this week.
Yeah.
At
we
least
can try to
it.
plan that a little bit better.
Yeah.
And then that'll be the benefit too, if we can only sweep for a couple of days, and we need to go back out one day, having our own. We can decide when we go out and how often and where
Yeah,
we need to
sure.
go.
Sure.
That's
And
true.
now that we do have people pretty active in the Facebook groups and our page,
Yeah,
let's use that the best we can. Thank you for
Yeah.
what you do.
we can most definitely do that.
All right, thank you, Jake. Council, any other questions?
So-
Seeing none, entertain a motion.
In the approval.
Oh, in the
it's-
approval.
Yeah. The
Staff
approval
request.
request is obviously to approve the purchase of those 3 pieces of equipment and to trade or trade the equipment in to the vendor, what's proposed there, or sell on our own or however whatever's the best interest of the city. So, we
Okay.
get approval for that also.
Okay, perfect. Okay, council, there you go. You have in front of you the approve for request, the suggestion, the request from staff. So those three key points. Would entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion that we approve the purchase of the heavy equipment as outlined in the staff report, including the case backhoe, the street sweeper, the heavy-duty truck, and also to trade in or dispose of the vehicles as is in the best interest of the city and outlined in the staff report.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, thank you very much. Jake, thank you so much. Are you up again? You are. Stay there. Item 7.2, discussion/motion. Award construction contract for the 2024 Community Development Block Grant, Romer Park Improvements Parking Lot Project. Never thought you'd see this, did you, Amy? Okay, Jake and Amy,
Yeah, that's been a long time coming. We finally have got the contract, awarded the contract from CDBG, so we move forward with replacing the Romer Park baseball field parking lot. We actually put this out to bid in June, the 1st of June, and we had we had 5 contractors bid on it, and one with low bid that was selected is Asphalt Construction and Excavation. They had low bid at $296,000. CBDG will support $182,000 to this, and then the city's match is $113,000. And that's all within budget. Any questions on the scope of work? Anything?
great. So it's gonna be the parking lot and also the small portion of the north
Yeah.
entrance?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can they
new
throw a
fence.
sidewalk in there too?
No,
Oh,
sidewalk.
darn it. Thought they'd be
That's a
generous,
different- That'll be another CBG project.
Okay, okay. So,
Right, Amy?
okay, so the timeline on this, are we still on our original timeline that you and I discussed probably back in May or June?
We're thinking maybe the week of the 19th,
Okay,
right? Yeah,
of this month?
of this month.
Ooh, I
That's
like it.
that soon.
When does football begin?
If we can
down
get
there?
the. Pardon?
Well, football won't be affected too much. Football's up on top. Football,
Yeah,
It's that lower.
That north
it's that
entrance will be
lower.
closed.
but, that'd be good. And how long will that take?
I don't know.
Probably more than 2 weeks, I would imagine. Oh,
I
well.
hope not.
Oh, really?
I don't see it.
Really?
If they can come in
Okay.
and they've got the equipment and the manpower to get it done, then
Okay.
I anticipate it'll move pretty quickly.
Okay.
When I talked to him today, we've got a pre-con scheduled for next week.
Okay,
So the only thing that'll be pending is just signing the contract and a few documents before we can issue a notice to proceed. But I think he's anxious to get going on it.
okay, good,
So
good. Just,
it'd be great if we can have it done by the 1st September.
okay, for your information, there will be baseball down there this weekend. And then there will be baseball again on September 7th. Will be the next time. Keep that in the back of your mind. If not, kids are
Okay.
gonna have to hike
Yeah.
down there. Won't
And
be
we
able to park
may,
down there.
if they're anticipating to get in there the week of the 19th, we may have asphalt in
Okay.
and we can use it, and then we'll just have to, come back and do the striping, the slurry seal and striping after that, which isn't an issue.
Okay.
So-
Ooh, all those people parking without stripes on the parking lot down there. It'll be worse than it.
Yeah,
That'll be
for all-
fun.
Just like Europe.
That'll be fun. Okay, well, okay, great. We're just glad to have it done.
Yeah,
Amy, thank you. Amy has lost. Well, you did all the worrying. Everybody else did the work. You did the worrying and,
Looks like we had 5 competitive bids and we
yeah,
got that grant. That's fantastic.
yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, that grant was a beast this time, but we pushed forward on it and we got it, so.
yeah.
And we'd be able to spend the money that we can apply next year for another grant, right? Okay.
Yeah.
That was our worry.
Yeah, this will be
Okay.
done.
Great. Jake, thank you. I sure appreciate that. Okay, and let's get this ball rolling. We need a motion on this to award the construction contract
I'll
for
make a
that
mo-
project.
I'll make a motion that we approve the funding for the Romer parking lot reconstruction using the CDBG grant monies and the city match as described.
Thank you.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Is there any opposed? Okay, that is unanimous. Thank you very much. Skip 7.3, let's go to 7.4. Motion / ordinance 24-06, approval of amendment to chapter 17.76 to conform to chapter 2.14 of the municipal code relating to the appeal authority. Tom.
Take it, you want to take it?
Oh, yeah, we've got
So,
Amy.
Mr.
in
Mayor
the-
and Council,
Okay.
basically, this is just, the amendment repeals an invalid code that was referenced in our, zoning section of the municipal code. And so this amendment just reenacts, the zoning chapter so that it is conformed with state law and our own code, administrative code. So in 2010, we changed our admin code, allowing city managers with the consent of council to appoint the appeal authority rather than using committee. And so that was changed in the administrative section of the code, but not in the zoning code. And so while we were looking at appeals this past month, it was realized that it was conflicting. So this just makes it in line with our own code.
Okay. Thank you very much. Any questions? Council? That's great. This is an ordinance. I would request a motion to approve ordinance 24-06.
Make a motion to approve the changes for ordinance number 2024-06 to update the language to be in line with our existing code in other sections.
Fair. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve ordinance 24-06. Any further discussion? Council? Seeing none, roll call vote. Amy?
Yes.
Councilmember Christiansen,
Yes.
Councilmember Shan,
Yes.
Councilmember West,
Yes.
and Councilmember Parkinson.
There will be a delay because the broadcast is delayed. Like,
Okay.
somebody just send me a text.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, it is unanimous. Thank you, Cheryl. Appreciate that. Appreciate all of you on that. That's good. Clean things up. Item 7.5, resolution 24-09, resolution ratifying the letter of intent to meet conditions and the request for obligations of funds for the Washington Terrace fiscal year 24 CDS fire engine. Tom.
Okay. What you're doing tonight is you are ratifying the letter of intent to meet the conditions and the request for funds. That is indicating that we have the funds to pay our portion of the grant to make the purchase for that fire engine. The reimbursement is based on the percentage of the purchase price of the percentage for the grant and the percentage for us. That is budgeted. We're anticipating that. And well, let me say, those funds are in reserve and will be moved over to the budgeted amount and amended into the budget for action. That happens after award of grants. So we don't actually move the money over until those grants are actually approved officially, but they will be. And then we sent in, as you saw on in your staff report, the language committing those funds. So in the instructions of the grant that we received last week, whenever it was, that we had to go through a resolution to adopt that, to approve that.
Okay. You understand all that?
Sure.
We do.
There's none.
We just want the money. We
It
just-
says that we will purchase it, that we'll follow the
Good.
rules, that we
Perfect.
will give the annual reports for the first, it's either 3 or 5 years, and then, okay, the first 3 years, and then after that, every 5 years, we do a report, that we have the vehicle and that we're using it accordingly. And
Okay.
because actually the federal government has a lien on this vehicle in percentage to how much they paid towards the vehicle. This is to avoid entities, and I'm sure the experience in other entities, they might purchase a fire vehicle the first year and then sell it and buy snowmobiles. I don't know what they do with it, but sometimes it doesn't match. So they're keeping track of that vehicle until the end of its useful life. They have not given us a year for what useful life is, but as far as any of us are concerned, we will no longer be involved in this. At the end of its useful life, however, we will be reporting for several years that we have it, it's in our fleet, and that we're using it accordingly.
Great. Okay. Thank you very much. Council, entertain a motion.
I make a motion to approve resolution 24-09, ratifying the letter of intent to meet the conditions and the request for obligation of funds for the Washington Terrace fiscal year 24 CDS fire engine.
We have a motion and a second to approve resolution 2409. Any further discussion? Amy, roll call, please.
Yes.
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 Is typing.
Is typing. Are we actively looking
Yes.
for a fire engine? Yes, thank you, Cheryl. It is unanimous.
Yes, we're actually looking, we actually have one that's, can I say this? Like, it's kind of been put on hold for us, but we haven't said that we haven't signed paperwork. It's made by Rosenbauer. It's called a Timberwolf. It's a commercial chassis I don't know if we talked about this before, but it looks like a semi truck front end with a 500-gallon water tank on it. It's a 29-foot wheelbase, from front of the truck to back of truck, it's 27 feet. Sorry, I'm getting my engines mixed up. We were just talking about another one. So it's really short for what it is for our city. Gets around in our city really well. It's considered a type 1 structure fire truck and a type 3 brush truck. Which really doesn't mean anything to us, but it's really compact, easy to get around. It seats 6 people in it. Really nice apparatus.
Okay.
So it's what it is it's available right now. It's a demo, what they call a demo unit. So they had it built to show people what it looks like. Has a couple thousand miles on it, still brand new. It's a 2023. So they had it last year, and it has all the kinks. They've used it. They did that demo. It got the kinks fixed out of it, and
Beautiful.
just waiting for us. They're waiting for the federal government to say we're good to go, right?
Yeah, can I jump in with
Yeah.
you?
Beautiful.
We reached out to both the state rep and Blakemore's office over the last couple of weeks quite regularly. And this morning I reached out to Molly with the state. I don't have the information back from her yet, but they had the authorization to sign our paperwork on Friday. So we're hoping we'll send over this resolution, which will put the bookend on this. We haven't been told that there's any other hoop to jump through. But we have been very, very proactive in checking the box on everything that they've asked us to do. And we got some good feedback from them that our team has been done a really good job in responding and making sure that all of our requirements are being met as soon as possible so that we can get this. As Clay pointed out today, Oregon is, they've got fires everywhere. We want this truck quite a bit, but
It's sitting up in Oregon right now. That's where their home base is at. So it's out of Oregon, but you know, there's a lot of fires in Oregon right now and there's people wanting to buy it and they're doing their best to say here, we got somebody committed to it, even though we're not. So, but they're, if it does, there's happened before, we'll find something else, you know,
Okay.
but.
Okay,
Um,
good.
Yeah, as you know, it'll be a good thing coming in. I think you were on the fire 2 weeks ago. Was it, or was it
Cheryl was there.
Sorry, I get you both mixed up. I apologize. But we had we were first on scene. We got water to the fire, but then when it came time to do what's called a switch over from hydrant to the pumper, we had a little issue. So we actually ended up using Riverdale, which was second on scene, hooked to them, get water, and they forwarded water to us, but it worked out. We were able to get it contained pretty fast, under 30 minutes, minimal loss to the house and whatnot, but still be good to get a new apparatus that functions.
Good, good. Okay. Yeah, I talked to Lisa Ross Kelly last night and she said, you still got a little bit of work to do, but she said it's there. So as we just keep on signing, whatever we gotta do.
Interesting, it comes through the Department of Agriculture,
Yeah, USDA or something.
USDA.
Oh, weird. That's okay. We'll take it. We don't care.
Yeah, and we'll take it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
whoever
thanks,
has that.
chief.
Yep, thank you.
Appreciate you. Okay, let's get that purchased. Go to item number 8, council communication with staff. Jill, we'll start with you.
I only was curious if anyone followed up with Susie Witt from 2 weeks ago, the Habitat for Humanity, about the email about moderate income housing, low income families in your community.
Yes, I've been in communication with them and we have a meeting penciled in. I feel like Willy Wonka right now, right? We have a meeting penciled and I don't remember the date, but she and I have been in contact
Thank you.
and are gonna get together to see what options are, what's available out there.
I appreciate that. Thank
bet.
you. That's all.
Okay, thank you. Z. Good. You're good? Jeff.
I don't think I have anything.
Okay, good. Slow summer. Michael.
I have a couple things. I
Okay.
have some citizens that reached out after reading the standard and want to say they're grateful that we're not raising our property tax like some of the surrounding cities.
Bravo.
And then a citizen reached out about on 300 East going south, there are some houses that have dead trees and some of the houses have pine needles on the top. They're worried if we get like other areas of having fires are because of the dead trees, the fires jumping kind of house to house. So if we can have our ordinance guy check them out. And then
What was that address again, Mike?
it's 300 East. It's on the west side. There's some houses.
Which area on 300 East?
How far
What are
north?
we, 51 or 5?
Starting at
51?
5,000 and working its way, well, after the storage units,
Yeah.
when the houses start there. And when
5100
it
to
meets up to like
50,
5,100 or whatever.
5200. Yeah.
And then I've had a lot of citizens reach out. They're grateful for the porta potties at the parks. They've actually been utilizing it. Their kids are happy because they don't have to go home and miss the rest of the day at the park to go to the bathroom. Good. So that's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Cheryl, is she typing anything on there for us? On that, Jeff, you said you had a comment about the new porta potties.
Yeah, I invited.
Did you hear back? You didn't hear back? You don't know what their concern is? Okay.
Yeah, but his concern is just maybe the placement of it. If you walk by it, you can smell it on the way to have a picnic lunch at the Bowery, but I don't know where else you put it on, right? It was at Wright Park.
Well, we gotta keep them out in the open.
Yeah, so,
And vandalism, sorry.
and I mentioned that. I talked about vandalism.
That's probably why it was put right there, so.
Yeah.
Okay, Cheryl, do you have anything for us?
Yeah, Cheryl has, they did an amazing job at the fire. I was very proud of our department. Thank you, Clay. Citizens expressed concern about the trees that are dead. Code enforcement is where this concern needs to be directed. Yes, we'll be directing that to code enforcement and, you know, anyways, I'll let Martin know
Right.
what's going on with the concern with the trees. And
Okay.
see what we can do to help people comply with getting rid of hazards.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. And if you want to use the webpage and use that non-emergency report thing, you can type it right in there. You can send a picture. Martin, it'll come through the system and it'll be distributed, go to whoever. That
Yep.
may go to the fire chief or Martin both for fire hazards and whatever. So,
I'm just thinking that because there's a couple of houses on Ridgeline Drive, somewhere around like 4,800 and 5,100,
mhm,
about dead trees that are
yeah.
fire hazards.
Yeah. Well, if you want to report those to Martin, easy way to do it is get on that web page we have now that
Yeah.
anybody can get on there and report something and it does. It gets immediately the next day. I've tried it. The next day it gets farmed out to whoever it's supposed to go to.
Yeah. It's just as a reminder, on our webpage, on the city webpage, there is a link on there that I want to report a non-emergency hazard. And then they can go in and follow the steps and it will take them to a platform to be able to submit that request for attention. It will be prioritized to the, you know, the nature of the situation. Like, let's say that it's a stop sign. Somebody knows there's a stop sign down. That will have a much higher ranking for priority than maybe a minor pothole somewhere. Stop signs are health and safety.
Right.
And helps make sure that people can get through intersections as anticipated. But we will prioritize those and get them in, but give them a try. It's actually kind of fun. If you're standing at the location where the hazard is,
Yeah. That's
if the pin will work correctly, sometimes the phones get a little wonky, but put the address, there's a double step verification on there. The pin, so find it on the map and pin it, and then also the address and submit the picture with the phone. You can take a picture of what the hazard is and submit it in, and it works pretty slick.
Yeah. But try to submit it while you're at the location.
At the location.
Or if you do like I do, go home and submit it, then you got pins all over your house.
Yeah, you got,
And
14
Shannon has
pins
to-
on your own home.
Shannon
That's
has to
not where all the
spread those
hazards
out
are.
where they go for the heat map, I guess, so.
That's right.
But if I can do it, anybody can do it, so. Okay, thank you, everyone. Tom, I just got one thing, a CTC grant from Christy Bell today. Did you receive that email?
I saw the email, but I have not.
Came late. If you look at that, I'm not quite sure how much it was for or what it was for, but it may be another one of those $10,000 ones from CTC. I'm not sure. But take a look at that. So. Okay, let's move on to administration reports. Tom, do you have anything for us?
Yeah, real quick. It looks like, just to clarify on the asphalt work for 300 West, we're anticipating the end of next week from 4,400 South up to 47, 49. So they're anticipating being able to get the asphalt put in on that. That's their push, is the end of next week for that zone. 15, 16, 17. So good job on that. They're doing great.
Wow.
And then we're gonna be dealing with the intersection down on 4,400. There's gonna be some traffic control, deals, we're gonna have to deal with traffic control down there. They're also going to work with keeping the businesses, keeping notifications so that people can get to the businesses, but it will be a little bit disruptive for a time. And we've got some on the south end of the project, south of 49. We've got some manhole situations we're dealing with there, some excavation, but that is moving along well and is set to get wrapped up on time for the schedule of the project. Crossing guard, we're going to do a crossing guard media blitz to encourage people to really pay attention to crossing guards and help protect the children. I don't know if you received the newsletter article about being aware of the crossings and people being mindful of that. We're going to be working with the sheriff's department and, making a bit of a fuss on the crossings, because they're going to be a little bit different this year with how they're going to be routing students. We're working with the school district on that as well. So more information for that, but we want to we want to be able to really get that in front of people to be thinking about it. Chicken discussion will be on to the planning commission, a public hearing on the 29th. So yeah, we'll be having that for, public hearing on the 29th of August for planning commission. So you're aware of that. And that'll be coming back around. Okay. Okay, we're also working with, Weber School District has offered $5,000 to help us with a lit crossing. They actually would like us to do how many, Jake? They have 3 crossings that they would like to be lit, but those crossings are around $6,000 a piece. What we have communicated back to them is that if they, contribute the $5,000 for this year, we can do 1 crossing and we'll help with installing it and about $1,000 more to finish up one of the lit crossings like we have that's, activated by the pedestrian crossing the road. And we reached out to them and let them know that we would be willing to participate so that they'll pay for the lion's share of one of them. And then next year we'll work on some safe routes to school grants to help fund the other 2 that they have indicated that they would like to have in the city. So we're going to be working on that with them in a partnership to hopefully get that taken care of. So that's out there. It hasn't landed yet because we're waiting for the information from them as to whether or not they're willing to support 1 lit signal and then let us take some time to get grants for next year. So it came in after the request, even for our budget season, but we think we can work with helping out with a little bit of that and manpower to put them in. Going forward, we'll maintain them. We'll take care of them. They'll be city infrastructure. And so we'll own them and maintain them after that. So that's kind of the communication we've had.
Where will that 1 go, Tom? Do you know?
I don't know exactly where they're going. Jake, do you mind coming up to the podium to answer that?
The 3 locations, one on 5,000 and 51 or 150 East, 4,800 right there in front of the high school, going to the seminary building.
Okay.
And then the 3rd one is on 4,700 and 200 East or 250 East. I think it's 200 East.
Oh, right.
And that's the one that they'd like us to prioritize.
Oh,
So we'll install that one first. And we'll
47,
work on the other
200. Okay.
2,
All right.
apply for that grant.
Yeah, they're all really important.
Those are good ones.
Yeah, that's good. Good
Mhm.
thought. Okay,
Thank you, Jake.
sounds good. Jake, what were those asphalt dates again? I'm sorry. They were asphalting. You gave asphalt dates
The asphalt,
when they were gonna asphalt, and then you give
the
the date.
15th,
The 15th,
15th, 16th, and 17th.
15, 16, 17. Okay, sounds good. Sorry, thank you. Anything
Okay,
else,
that's
Todd?
it. That's it.
Okay, thank you very much. Let's move on to upcoming events. August 20th, city council meeting, work session and council meeting on that night. Planning commission meeting on August 29th at 6 p.m. Just curious, will those meetings be live streamed?
Which?
Planning commission?
No.
Okay. September 2nd, city offices closed for Labor Day holiday. September 3rd as our first meeting in September. And then September 4th through just the 5th, isn't it? Okay. September 4th and 5th is our League of Cities and Towns Annual Conference in Salt Lake City. Kind of like that they put it together in just 2 days. Wednesday was kind of a half day anyway. And so I'd encourage you to sign up for that. You don't have to travel far. It's only 2 days. I'm going, I wouldn't miss it. Those are usually have a few more classes than the St. George experience, but they're both really good. So please sign up for that if you'd like. They'll take you out to the ball game, one of you. Then you have to pay a fortune for the rest of the family, but
Right.
other than that, we could just all five of us go for free. But, so please, consider that. If you can work that into your schedule, it'd be great to have you down there.
You can carpool, we can,
Yeah, we'll,
grab one of the vehicles and
you
you
know,
guys
grab
can
the vehicle
carpool
every
down.
morning, go down, hang out, so. And then, September 17th is our second city council meeting. And then September 26th, tentative planning commission meeting. This time, ladies and gentlemen, we need to adjourn this meeting and adjourn into a redevelopment agency meeting. So council, I would request that motion to adjourn this meeting, adjourn into a redevelopment agency meeting.
Motion to adjourn council meeting to an RDA meeting.
Second.
Got a motion and a second to adjourn this meeting and go right into a redevelopment agency meeting. Any questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. We are now in, you're welcome to stay, everybody, but
It's exciting.
Thanks, Amy.
no, it's not. Yeah. Okay. Just like to welcome everybody to our redevelopment agency meeting. I think we lost most of our in-person audience, but hopefully we still have a few online with us. RDA meeting Tuesday, August 6th. Thank you for joining us. Again, those in the audience that are here that are no longer with us, that intellectual property permission notice still applies. So make sure they read that when they come to the future ones. Tonight, let's start out with our roll call. Amy?
Here.
Here?
Board Member Christiansen,
Here.
Board Member Zishan,
Here.
Board Member West,
Here.
Board Member Thomas,
Here.
and Board Member Parkinson.
She is here.
She's still there. Great. Thank you. Let's move, introduction of guests. No guests with us. Everybody's left except us. Let's move down to consent items. Item 3.1, approval of tonight's agenda. Staff, any changes to tonight's
Yeah,
agenda?
there's not really a presentation, but we'll briefly describe what an RDA is. It'll be brief.
Okay,
And then we'll jump into our closed session.
okay. All right. Item 3.2, approval of meeting minutes from July 16th, 2024. Any changes or corrections to those RDA minutes? Okay, anyone opposed to the approval of those two items? No, then we'll approve those by general consent. Thank you very much. Go to new business, item 4.1, a short presentation discussion, understanding the use of a redevelopment agency, RDA. Tom?
Thank you. This will be brief. Just to clarify how an RDA functions and your role and the city council's role in an RDA. Redevelopment areas are set up in order to create a platform that can help to bring business and development into a city or a particular area in the city. And so we have an expired RDA, which was the Central Business District down by the Terrace Playhouse. And there are projects that we have been able to do down there. A couple of which that are coming up is the small engine repair store and seeing if they might be able to do some rehab on that building to make that less, a little bit more, welcoming to that area. But the real focus on RDAs is how we can build tax base. And the RDA, there are two different governing boards in the city. One is the city council. The city council is over funds that the city owns, the activities, and we're talking funds tonight just because they're two different pots of money. As city council members, you oversee and govern the activities that go on for the city specifically. As an RDA board, you are overseeing RDA funds, and they're separate and apart from city funds. And so it's a little bit different to put on that hat and be separate. but they're completely separate. They're a different budget, they're a different funding source. Taxing entities throughout the county actually give up a portion of their property tax to put into our RDA. Those funds are there intentionally to help to promote and to bring businesses into our area. One of those projects that could be described as very successful is Golden West Credit Union, where they came in, they set up a project that they needed some help with getting some infrastructure realigned and some work that they wanted to do. And so we committed to them $1.2 million to help go towards that project. The taxable value increased significantly with the building of that building and increased the tax revenue that is now brought to the cities and the other organizations throughout the county that contributed or gave up a portion of their tax increment or their tax revenues. So they're actually in a sense supporting our ability to bring businesses in, to bring up taxable value. So that's why RDAs are there. And so in this case, you're in an RDA meeting. So you have a different hat on than you had 10 minutes ago. You have the RDA hat, which is governing and anticipating projects that could come in to beautify, to make areas more attractive for businesses to come in. Maybe some projects that help improve that specific area. The Central Business District, we did that with the Terrace Playhouse. We helped with them with the refurbishing of the front end of their playhouse, helped them with some funding to help make that environment better that could hopefully increase the very fit and finish of that environment. So one of the things that now is coming up is they're looking at actually expanding and putting a building on that property that would actually increase tax base. And the way leads on to way with this product looks more inviting, more user friendly. We want to support it more. If it looks all run down and lousy, people may not participate in activities. But with the Playhouse, that change in the very nature of that business has increased to the point where they want to do that project on their property, and that is going through the planning and the approval process. So that may be a project that comes up later on because that will build tax base. So tonight we're going to be talking about a project that we've got that we're working with the developer on down on the property on Adams Avenue, right by where you would enter go to the shop, or just south of the library. The city owns that property, and we'll be discussing how that might be able to be sold in an appropriate way. So tonight we're going to be going into a closed session to discuss property and disposition of property and how that would play out. So that will come out not tonight. We're not going to be going into to do any action after the discussion, but it's kind of a strategy session for that. But long and short of RDAs, if not for the RDA, a project may not get done. The RDA is to help bring a business in that otherwise may not be able to be here, and to move it forward and support all the other taxing entities and support our city. Good. Yep. Any questions?
Very clear. To me. Yeah, no, that's great.
Was it concise?
Appreciate that. As Tom said, we do have to discuss some strategies on some properties. So at this time, it will be necessary for the RDA to adjourn into a closed session. Those of you, if you are still with us live on YouTube, we will turn off the broadcast there for that. And as Tom said, immediately following that closed session, we will adjourn the RDA meeting. No more business or any action will take place after that closed meeting. So those that are on, thank you for joining us tonight, and hope you come back. If you have any suggestions, please pass those along, how we can do better. This is our first time. I hope it worked out well for everybody. Board members, I would entertain a motion to adjourn into a closed session.
Motion to adjourn into a closed session.
Second?
We have motion and second. Amy, do you want a roll call? Okay, it'll be a roll call vote.
Yes.
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 Yes, okay. We've got everybody. That is unanimous. We will adjourn into a closed session. Thank you all that joined us tonight.